Hey there, busy team. It's Sean for 5-Minute Tuts. In this video, we're going to do a screen replacement for a cell phone, and we're going to use the stabilization, destabilization workflow. I chose this workflow for this particular video because these screen replacements on cell phones are becoming more and more common, and they present some tricky problems because the screen itself is usually being held by a person who's unstable. Their hand is moving constantly, which makes corner pinning tricky. So we're going to approach it from a slightly different perspective. Let's jump in. So this is the footage that we're dealing with. Pretty straightforward. Her thumb goes in front of the screen slightly, but not enough to really mess up our track. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the Mocha plugin for this. So that little screen you just saw pop up down here is FX Console, and it's made by Video Copilot, and it's free. I highly recommend you grabbing it. It makes working a lot faster in After Effects. So we're going to go to Mocha. We're going to go to the one that comes installed with the regular version of After Effects. We're going to click on the plugin, and here we are. Scrub through it real quick just to see. Then we're going to start on frame 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up here. We're going to select the box shape, and we're just going to do just a quick lineup of the screen itself. Doesn't have to be exact. Mocha is a planar tracker as opposed to a point tracker. So in some cases, many cases actually, it's a lot more forgiving. So we're going to do a quick track on that. Okay, once we have our track, we can take a quick look at it. Looks like it's in there pretty good. And if we just want to test to make sure that it is going to stabilize in a way that is useful, we can just click on this button right here, and it will show us what it looks like stabilized. So we'll just play it back. And it looks like it's a little bumpy, so I'm going to do one quick fix. If you go down here, let's select perspective, and let's go back to the first frame, and let's run our track one more time. And there we should have it. So let's go here, let's save it. Let's exit out of Mocha. We're now back in After Effects. Our Mocha plugin now is here. And what we want to do, we won't need our mats. We want to create track data. It'll give us the layer that we use to track in Mocha. We select OK on that. That gives us this. That gives us our keyframes. If you'll watch here, I'll scrub and you can see the keyframe values change. The next thing we want to do is a little bit of a trick and a hack, but this actually stabilizes your footage. So we want to use PowerPin, CC PowerPin, which is a corner pinning plugin in After Effects. We're going to parent these corners to these corners. So the way you do that is you hold down Command on Mac or Alt on a PC, and you just want to use the pick whip here, and you want to connect the two corners. So top left goes to top left. Just make sure you hit enter there. We're going to do that for all 4 corners. Okay, so your footage will look really weird here. What we want to do is we want to go up here and we want to invert the track. And when we play it back, you'll see the phone is pretty still. That's the point. And you'll notice if you look at the background, now that the phone is locked off, if you look how the background is tilting and doing strange things, that's actually what the phone is doing. That's why corner pinning as a track can be pretty tricky, because that phone is a lot less stable than it appears to your eye, because your eye compensates quite a bit. So once we have that, we want to select both plugins. Oops. We want to copy them. And now we want to pre-comp this layer. And we want to make sure everything gets moved into the comp. So we want these plugins to follow it inside this pre-comp. Once that's done, now we want to copy and paste those 2 plugins that are doing the stabilization. We want to paste them again over the top of the pre-comp. Now, if we unstretch this, we'll see our footage is back to the way it was before in the unstabilized mode. Okay, and you'll notice sometimes you'll get these black areas up here. All you have to do is click on this down here, which is continuous rasterization, and it'll fix that. Okay, now we want to actually put a screen in. So let's double click and go inside our pre-comp. And now you'll notice that everything is stabilized, or actually so the phone itself is stabilized. I found a little, just a generic screen here that we can put in there. And then what we'll do is we'll do a power pin on this one too. And we will get the corners in there. Okay, so that's a rough version of that. Now, if we play this back, because the phone is basically a still image, the screen now is too. And now when we go back into our main comp, we play it back, we've locked the screen in perfectly. And that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.